Have you ever wondered if your supplements are a waste of money? I'm here to give you my top 5 supplements that are definitely worth your money. I'll break down what they do, why they're important, and why we're going to get the best bang for our buck with these specific supplements. My number 1 supplement is protein powder. I almost hesitate to call this a supplement because of protein's importance in the diet, and protein powder is actually one of the most quality sources of protein from a digestibility and amino acid profile that you can get. Don't worry about the processing. Just make sure that you're getting it from a quality third-party tested company so that you know what is on the label is what you're getting, and that there's not chemicals or any toxins in the actual powders themselves. So a whey protein powder is going to be great for anyone that can or wants to handle whey. If you're vegan or vegetarian, protein powder is going to be even more important for you. Because the digestibility of protein from plant sources is not always the highest, we don't get all of the protein that's in it, and the amino acid profile is not always the best for us absorbing muscle protein synthesis, building muscle, and things like that. We want to supplement with a protein powder. So, a vegan protein powder, a plant based protein powder, is going to start with soy or pea, and it's going to usually have a blend of proteins to make sure that we can get a complete amino acid profile. So, soy and pea have good amino acid profiles, a good amount of leucine. They're usually going to be combined with some sort of grain like rice, and that's going to make a complete protein powder. So that's what to look for there. So vegans, vegetarians, plant-based individuals, make sure you're supplementing with protein and getting that protein number up. That's going to be the most important. Protein is the foundation of our diet, so it's also the foundation of our supplementation. Supplement number 2 is creatine monohydrate. Now, most people think of creatine as just a performance enhancer, recovery enhancer, muscle builder. Some people even think of it as a steroid, which is not true. But the reason creatine is number 2 on this list for daily supplements is all of the other benefits that are coming out in the research. There's benefits for brain health, bone health, all kinds of different health outcomes are being improved with creatine supplementation. So that's why I want to recommend it. Now, also, it is one of the most researched and studied supplements on the planet, and its safety profile is really, really good. Unless you have a pre-existing condition, creatine is probably going to be pretty safe for you, and a pre-existing kidney condition. So it's a really safe supplement, and it has a ton of benefits outside of just performance. Now, we want to make sure that we go with creatine monohydrate. That is the most studied and the most effective one. Also, it's the most cost-effective version of this supplement. So we don't want to break the bank here for something that we're going to take every day. Now, we want to get 3 to 5 grams of creatine a day, depending on how much meat we're eating in the diet. That will determine whether we need 3 or 5. Doesn't really matter. Just make sure you get it every day so that it can saturate your muscle cells, and that is how it's going to be the most effective. So get a quality creatine supplement, 3 to 5 grams daily. Doesn't matter what time of the day you take it. Just make sure you get it in each day, and then go from there. You'll see a ton of health benefits over the long term. Number 3 is omega-3s. Now, omega-3 fatty acids are essential for brain health, heart health, inflammation. They can help with all kinds of things like that. So we want to make sure that we're getting in enough omega-3s. Now, you can get this from having fatty sources of fish like salmon in the diet, but if you don't prefer that or you can't eat fish for whatever reason, we want to make sure that we're getting enough omega-3s in the diet. So that's why I recommend supplementing with it. And again, having a little bit extra omega-3s is probably not going to negatively affect you, and this shouldn't break the bank. You should be able to get a reasonably priced, high quality fish oil or omega-3 supplement without going too overboard. So we want to include this in the diet for those general health outcomes. That's why this supplement makes the list as number 3. Make sure you get your omega-3s. Supplement number 4 comes from the 4th letter of the alphabet, and that's vitamin D. Vitamin D comes from the sun. So depending on where you live and how much sunlight you get throughout the year, you may want to consider supplementing with vitamin D. Even if you live in a sunny place and you spend a lot of time indoors, vitamin D supplementation might actually be beneficial for you. It's great for immune health and bone health and just general overall health. Vitamin D is actually a hormone, so it works on the endocrine system. It works hormonally, so it can be beneficial for a lot of different things. So we want to make sure that we get enough vitamin D. Now, a great thing about vitamin D is it is a fat soluble vitamin. So it stores in our fat cells. So we do not have to take this every day. As long as we can get it in a couple of times a week, depending on the dose. Most come in about 5,000. You probably don't even need anything that high. So if you get a 5,000 IU vitamin D, you can take it again once or twice a week. and that should be sufficient. So that should make this last pretty long. If you get a nice quality vitamin D supplement, it shouldn't break the bank, and it should last you a pretty long time. So that's why, with the health outcomes, the fact that most of us just don't get enough sun depending on where we live, and all the different benefits. And it's really hard to overdose, even though it is a fat soluble vitamin, but you do want to be careful about that. But again, safety profile to outcome ratio looks pretty good. So supplement with vitamin D. Supplement number 5 is melatonin. Now, this is probably going to be one of the more controversial on this list. And there's a bunch of supplements that I just left off that just missed the cut. I fought with putting melatonin number 5, but let me tell you why I did. It's because of its effectiveness. Melatonin has been very well studied for increases in sleep quality and sleep duration. We know how important sleep is, and we know that most people in modern societies now, with technology and all the different stressors in our lives, we are just not getting enough sleep or enough quality sleep. So anything that can improve that is going to make the list. So also melatonin, you can get it pretty cheap. Now, a lot of people think that melatonin makes you dependent on it or it makes you drowsy in the morning. I think the main reason for that is our dosages are way too high. They come in usually 3 to like 10 milligram doses. We need maybe zero point 0.5 to 1.5 milligrams of melatonin per night to help us sleep. So if you can get something like this liquid supplement where you can control your dose, you can actually get an even better bang for your buck on top of a supplement that's already not that expensive. So you can get all the sleep benefits. It's going to last you longer, and you won't get that drowsy, dependent on melatonin feeling. It can just help you naturally get into that sleep rhythm. So anything that's going to benefit our sleep and be that effective, there is nothing that is quite as effective as melatonin, at least as far as over-the-counter supplements. So you really want to think about that when you decide on a supplement: is how effective is it really? Is it really doing what I want it to do? And melatonin is one of those things. Let's just make sure that we dose it properly. That way we can make it last longer and make it work for us and not against us. So that goes for all supplements. Any supplement that you think I missed, like I said, drop it in the comment below. Let's discuss. Any of these supplements you don't think should be on the list, let's talk about it. But these are my top 5 daily supplements. And please like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram.